We are live. What is up, everybody? Edwin, the comic jabroni, coming at you live on a Friday, as I've been doing for a while now. Let me set some things up here on the screen before we get into it. So, guys, thanks for joining me, Edwin, the comic jabroni. Like I said, it is Friday, December the 6th, and I hope you guys are having a great Friday. I didn't go on Instagram or Facebook and say, hey, I'm going live now. This was kind of just last minute thing. I usually go live on Fridays, but man, I just wasn't feeling it today. Rod the Rican, yo, what's up, brother? I wasn't feeling it today for some reason. I don't know. I should be studying for finals that are happening next week. I have been getting the comic jabroni mystery boxes all set up. And I've just had my mind on a bunch of different things, trying to put the lights up outside. My kids have been bothering me about doing that, and I just wasn't feeling like it today, man. But I said, you know what, I want to go live. I want to talk about the independent books that I picked up this week, because there was some good stuff, right? So if you watch my video from yesterday, I reviewed the one DC book that I picked up, and I reviewed the two Marvel books. And what I want to let everybody know is that's probably how it's going to go from now on, for a while at least. Because as you guys, I've told you, I am saving up now for a first print of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. And to be able to do that, I need to cut back on what I pick up on Wednesdays, because it was a weekly occurrence that I would go into that local comic shop and I'd pick up $50, $60, $70 worth of comics, man. And some of these series I just wasn't even really enjoying, to be quite honest. So let me cut that out. Let me cut off the fat. Let's stick with the series that I am enjoying reading and review those for you, man. And there's still going to be videos every week. There's going to be a second set of mystery boxes coming out maybe in January. And what I will tell you is that Alan, my buddy Alan, again has told me that he has another slab in mind that he wants to throw in for the grand prize. Yo, Reggie Balines, what's up, brother? Reggie was the first person to hit me up on the mystery boxes and claim one. Thank you, Reggie, for supporting me and just being a part of this great, awesome comic community. I will, one second, I'm gonna swing this camera around and you're gonna see the boxes. They are all ready. Let me see if you can. Right there. There they are. There are all of the boxes wrapped up and ready to go, man. So let's turn this back around, put the camera up on my beautiful shaven head face. So ASM 129, hey Jabroni, how you doing today? I know you just came onto the chat, man. I had so much stuff going on today, and I just didn't feel like going live. And then I was like, you know what? I need to get on, and I need to talk about these comics that I got, man, because there were some good independent books that came out, and I grabbed 4 of them. And as always, I'm going to switch over to Comic Book Roundup. Guys, I use the heck out of this site, and every time I go live, I will continue to push this website, and you guys have watched me in the past, and you know that I continue to talk about Comic Book Roundup and their review system, and how they've got big time critic reviews on there, and then they have, people like myself and yourself, just regular Joe Schmo readers of comics that can go on there and read read critics and write down what they think of a comic book, man. We got Perry Comics in the house. What's up, man? ASM 129 says, glad you're on. Thank you. I really appreciate that. My buddy Andy Alberts from across the pond, probably my only subscriber that watches from across the pond. I probably have one more. I don't know. Perry says, I'm not regular. I'm irregular. Yeah, you are one irregular cat, man. CTT assemble for sure. I'm waiting for John's comics, but I know he has. He's in school right now. Perry Comics says Call of Duty. Let me tell you guys, man. Perry and I last night, we played Call of Duty, and it was a fun time. We did pretty well I'll say out of maybe like the 4 or 5 matches that we played, we won like 3 or 4 of them, man. It was a fun time. So if you guys play Call of Duty, definitely hit me up on Instagram or send me a message on here and let me know what your Activision call tag or whatever the hell it's called is, and you'll jump into the games with us. It is fun times. Doesn't matter if you're on the PC, on the PlayStation, Xbox, doesn't matter. There is cross-platform play on Call of Duty. So you might look at the name to today's video and go, well, why is it not called New Comic Book Day Reviews and Pickups, whatever I usually call it, and it's called whatever I called it, with the Strangeness and other Strangeness. Well, there was a book that I picked up this week that I showed to the CTT, and I wanted to show you guys. But let's get into the reviews first. There's only 4 books. One of them I've already reviewed on a different channel, so we're going to talk about it real quick, and that is, let's switch back over, Strange Skies over East Berlin. This is issue number 3. This is written by Jeff Loveness, and the artist is Lisandro Esteren. Guys, we'll switch over. 6.0 critic rating. It does not have a user rating as of yet, but I jumped on to White Whale's show Wednesday night with John's Comics with Kids, and we reviewed this series, right? This is issue number 3, and we talked about 1, 2, and 3. If you have not been picking it up and you want something different that's not heroes versus villains, I've talked about this in the past with, sometimes comic, enthusiasts like myself, yourself, we want to read something that just isn't always heroes versus villains. We want a spy tale, we want aliens, or we want something different, and that's what we're getting in this. This is a spy tale set in the 1970s, East Berlin. This American spy has made his way into a bunker to find out what the Russians got from this comet that streaked across the sky. It has turned into, from what it was, which was just like a spy thriller, right? Reminds me of The Americans on the FX show, into a spy sci-fi thriller. I mean, now this American is stuck in the bunker with a few other Russian and East Germans, and this alien is running rampant, and he is killing people. He's taking over their minds. He's making them see things while they're down there, and it has just been a great series, and I think it's only 1 issue left. Issue number 4. Let me go back and say hello to everybody that has jumped on. That old comic smell. What is going on, man? Thank you for joining me. Comics Club. What's up, Dwayne? How you doing? The comic pusher in the house from down there in Brandon, Florida. Super Russ 9000. What's up, man? What's going on, Russ? How are you this fine Friday? Repair Tech Tony. Good afternoon. How are you, Tony? So, guys, what I can say, it got a 6.0 from critics. If I scroll down, wonderful premise, hamstrung by some weaker elements. I'm not entirely sure what the weaker elements he's talking about. Maybe the artwork. The artwork takes some getting used to. It is not your typical, beautiful artwork that you would see in any other book. It is really good. I'd have to give it maybe a 7.5 on my scale. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to be picking up issue number 4. Los is in the house at work, but wanted to stop by. That's one of the main reasons I want to do this at this time during the day, because sometimes you're at work, maybe you're doing lunch or whatever it is, and you can just have the soothing voice of Edwin in the background, man. So thank you for everybody. Perry says art looks better when you're drunk, is what you're saying. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I wouldn't be too drunk reading it, but it's a great read, man. Really great. You read, you feel this terror that the character is having, because not only is he having to deal with an alien in this bunker that he can't get out of, that's been killing people, but he's also dealing with these other members, this one other member of the Stasi, right, which is the East German secret police, who's down there. He's kind of like a rat catcher. He's a spy catcher. So does he know who he is? He's not exactly sure. He's down there with that. He's also down there with this woman who's in charge of the bunker, and she's got a gun, and she's going around shooting everybody. So it's pretty good, man. Second Street Marvel, did you sell that last mystery box? I absolutely did, brother. Got the last one sold. So all 20 of them are sold. I have them right here to my right. I packaged them up, and I wrapped them up yesterday, all 20 of them. So today, before we get into the next book, this is my plan for how to decide who the grand prize winner is, right? Because I want to make it completely random. And I wrapped them up, and I'm going to show you what one of them looks like. This is the box. Let's blow this up. So this is the box right here. Can't tell exactly what's in it, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this into a family adventure. Bring my kids and my wife into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay all 20 of the boxes out. And then I'm going to walk away. And I'm going to have my kids and my wife move the boxes into whatever position they want. Right? I'm not going to have any say in where the boxes go. And then once they have them set up, 1 through 20, everybody that bought a box, I'm going to have your name in a bowl. And we're going to start with number 1. Randomly pick a name out of the bowl. That's going to number 1. That's going to number 2. This is going to number 3. So I have no say in whatever what box you're getting. And to tell you the truth, all the boxes really kind of weigh the same. So as of right now, I have no idea where the slab is, man. I don't know where the slab. I don't know where the Shazam number 1 is. What was another big book in there? Crisis on Infinite Earths number 8. I don't know where that's. They're all in there. I threw that Static Shock number 1 from the 90s. That was still polybag. That's a book that's in there. I mean, there's some really dope stuff, man, and I'm excited to get those out. Like I told you guys on Alex show on Wednesday, I have drill this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So today, when my daughter gets home from school, we'll decide what box goes where. I will pay for the shipping, and then Monday I'll drop them off over at the post office. Let's see. Los, what's up, everyone in the chat? ASM, I will let you know how it reads, drunk and sober. Please do. Reggie Molina says, dope. Reggie, you're getting a box, brother. Getting a box, and I'm excited for you guys to open it. It took me a while, and I told Perry, I was like, damn, Perry, making these mystery boxes is not easy. Like having to go through your collection and make sure that your money isn't wasted, right? I appreciate you guys, giving me this money for these mystery boxes, but I wanted to make sure that what's in that box is worth $50 or definitely more. I mean, when you open it and you see like the 2 kind of key books, even if you do not get the Hulk 180, there's going to be books in there where you're like, hell yes, I'm so happy I got this. This is a book that I wanted in my personal collection, man. So I'm excited for you guys to get that. Gray Man in the house. What is up, Gray Man? Legend. You are a legend. So let's get into our next book. You would think that this would be my last, but there's 2 other books I really wanted to talk about. And this one, the first one is Die. Issue number 10, written by Karen Gillan. Art is done by Stephanie Hans. This is an Image book. I grabbed the B cover, and it is done by Anna Dittman. So I think this is the first time that Anna Dittman has done one of these Die covers. Usually it's always Stephanie Hans does the covers, but I really liked just this cover with the main character on there, Ash. Old Wolf in the house, my bourbon brother. What's up, man? Andy Alberts. I hope people do videos opening them when they get them. I really do too. I hope that if you are a YouTube comic, creator, and you want to do a live show opening one of the boxes, invite me on. I want to see the look on your face when you open and you see like the awesomeness that I threw into these boxes, man. Let me see. Reggie says, heard a lot of great things from everyone saw in Wolf Warner's video. So what I will tell you about Die is I'm done after issue 10. But it's a good stopping point because this is the end of the second story arc. This main character, Ash, whenever you open these books up for Die, it gives you a rundown of every character that's a main character, right? And their dice, what their job is. And this main character on the front, her name is Ash, and she's a dictator. And you don't ever really understand what the hell does that mean, a dictator, what's the job that she holds? And it gets into it in this issue, what a dictator, like what the rules are for a dictator and how she has a patron that's that she's tied to, and if that patron decides to kill the dictator off, it can do that. They also have to go get these chains put on them. I think it sounded like every year. Well, her power is that she can put these spells on people, and if they're willing, it's easier for her to do that. And she can put this spell and tell them what to do. If they're willing, she can do up to 4 or 5 people, but if they're unwilling, she can only do 1 at a time. So in this book, we find out that she is now making herself the ruler of all the dictators and making herself queen of everybody in this world of Die. Old Wolf says 3 horsemen are in the house. The artwork, it continues to be great. Stephanie Hans's artwork is beautiful. Let's switch. Let's keep going. Some panels obviously are better than others, but I still enjoy it. I'm going to show you this very last because she becomes this queen, and there she is sitting on her throne. And her friend, who's also one of these members on this group that went into Die, she tells her, "You do know the evil queen never wins, right?" And Ash ends up saying, "Well, we'll see. Watch me win." So this group, this original group that went into Die, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 6 of them. Now the group is split because not everybody's on her side. Not everybody wants her to do what she's doing. So half of them are with her. The other half, they are running away from her, man. Andy says, has the other 2 members of CTT bought a box? One did. Rod bought a box, which I appreciate. Perry has his own stuff going on. He's saving money himself for a new camera and some other things. So I totally understood that he couldn't buy a box, man. And I totally get that. And I don't fault anybody for not totally getting invested in this Comic Jabroni mystery box. It's the first one I've made. And could be a little bit scary for some people, right? I don't want to spend it was $65, man, with shipping, right? $50, $15 for shipping. Is Edwin going to give me enough, everything that my money's going towards? And I think that when these boxes go out to everybody and the videos get made or people are showing what I got them, I think there's going to be some good traction and people are going to want in because the next slab grand prize is going to be a big one. And Alan didn't tell me what it was. He says, "Edwin, it's a book that you want, and I want it to be a surprise for you as well. Of course, when I do announce the second series of my mystery boxes, at that point I'll probably have the slab in my hands and I'll be able to show you." But he says it's a Silver Age key, is what he told me. So I'm excited, man. I am super, super excited. Aggressively relaxing in the house. What's going on, man? So before we get into the next book, let me go over to Comic Book Roundup and we'll look. Die issue 10, 9.5 from critics and a 9.4 from users, man. If we go to users, nobody wrote anything on there. We go back to the critics, got a 10 from comicbook.com. Superpowered Fancast gave it a 9.6. So people are really enjoying Die. I did too, and I still do. I really like this last issue. But I'm going to drop it. I've told you I got to start cutting back at some point. And I think that for me, this is a perfect spot for me to just cut it off. Because this is the end of the second story arc. They're about to start into the next. And from then on, I might pick it up and trade. I'm not exactly sure. Just a weekend. Got to get back to work. Good show. Thanks, brother, for joining. Definitely watch the replay because there's something at the end of this show that I'm gonna show off that I picked up this week, and I want to see if anybody ever knew this existed. ASM by Rod, me, and Katie will see you next week. All right, so let's get into the next book. It's going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder in Hell, issue number 5. This is written and the artwork is done by Mateus Santuloku, which is right now my favorite Ninja Turtle artist, right? Kevin Eastman, beautiful artwork. To me, it's beautiful. I love his artwork, but Mateus Santuloku's artwork on Turtles has just been incredible, and he has some great stuff here in Shredder in Hell. This issue here got pushed back a few months, and the biggest reason it got pushed back was because it needed to coincide with issue number 100 of Ninja Turtles, which comes out next week. So they pushed this back 2 or 3 months so that this issue would come out the week before, and then Turtles comes out, because what happens in this issue is Shredder's resurrected. We saw it in issue 99 of Turtles, that Kitsune, this witch, she was trying to revive or resurrect the dragon, which I thought was Shredder, but it isn't. It's not Shredder. It ends up being like this demon devil down in hell that Shredder fights throughout this book. So much of this comic right here is Shredder fighting the dragon. And you can see the dragon gets resurrected and he is all ablaze. I mean, the artwork is just beautiful. The fighting, there is some awesome fight scenes. You got Shredder. Shredder's the one with this halo looking thing above his head, and he's fighting the dragon. There's the dragon right there. Great stuff. If I flip over, comic book roundup, 9.1 from critics, 6.5 from users. And some of the flack that the users gave it was that it got pushed back. It would have gotten a much better rating from them if it didn't get pushed back so much. My Sonius, if this issue wasn't so delayed, I'd have been more enthusiastic. Captain America, the delay was too long. I'd completely lost track of the story, so this entire issue was one big for me. That is one of the, downfalls of this issue was it got pushed back. It got pushed back, and much of what you read through 1 through 4, you kind of forgot some of it. So when you pick up issue 5, what the hell's going on? But I still enjoyed it. I still liked it. I still give it, for me, 8.0. It's not a perfect comic in any sense. The artwork is beautiful, but again, the story got pushed back, so it made me kind of forget what the hell was going on. Yeah, kind of like Doomsday Clock, except for this one finished within this year. Doomsday Clock, supposedly, supposed to finish next month, or this month, December. We'll see. Can you imagine if DC came out and said they had to push back issue 12 of Doomsday Clock? Man, that would hurt. That would hurt. I don't know if I'd even pick it up. At that point, I'd say to hell with Doomsday Clock. What the hell is going to... What does it even matter? At that point, what does it even matter if you read that book? I have forgotten what has transpired throughout that whole 11 issues. Other than Superman and Dr. Manhattan are going to meet up, I think, in this issue. Why are they meeting up? What's going on? I have no idea anymore because it's been 2 years since that first one came out. Can you imagine? 2 years, man. 2 years. Guys, it's Friday. I'm having a great day now. Being live, talking to you guys. Absolutely love being on here, talking to you guys. Quick update. The Comic Jabroni is at 986 subscribers. I am 14 away from that 1,000 mark. I'm so excited, guys. Can't wait. This has been, I'm not going to say it's been a struggle or anything like that. This has been fun. This journey with all of you has been incredible. Reviewing comics, talking comic books, being on other people's shows, collecting has been so great for me, man. I'm so excited. I collect a lot. Says I hope you get there soon. I hope so too, man. There is a website called, is it Sling Blade? It's Sling Blade or something like that. I don't know. It's not Sling Blade. It's something Blade, and it kind of tells you like where you should be at certain points, and it said by the end of the year. So we'll see. I have 24 days left in this year to get 14 subscribers. It feels like these last 14 have been so tough to get, man. And but all of you, I appreciate all your help and your support, and people kind of putting me out there saying, hey, Edwin, Comic Jabroni, he's putting out great stuff. Social Blade, thank you, Johnny Gerardo, thank you. Social Blade, Social Blade. Let me go to Social Blade real quick. We'll show you what Social Blade is. So for any of you guys that have a channel on YouTube, you should definitely use Social Blade. So if we go to Social Blade and I look up Comic Jabroni, we'll search. It kind of gives you a rundown of how your channel is, and there I am. I have 213 uploads, 984. This has it at 984. I thought it was at 986, and 40,000 video views. So my grade, I got a C grade. I don't exactly know how they come up with that, but it gives you all these different numbers, man, and future projections. That's where I like to go to. I like to go to future projections. And right now, in 2 months, it says I'm predicted to have almost 1,200, right? 1,153 subs. So it's cool just to kind of go on there. If you go to subscriber milestones, it says 1,000. I should reach 1,000 in the next 9 days. I don't know. We'll see. It's been pretty accurate so far. Any of you guys that make YouTube videos, do you use Social Blade? I've really enjoyed using Social Blade and just looking at it and seeing where I'm projected to be. All right, guys. So last book, and then I'm gonna show you that crazy book that I picked up that has a little bit to do with comics. Has a lot more to do with Dungeons and Dragons, though. Last book, though, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Power Rangers. Issue number 1. I grabbed the Kevin Eastman variant. I really like when I can pick up a Kevin Eastman variant of him drawing something other than Turtles. So like Batman. He did Batman variants, and I picked that up. He did a Spider-Man one, so I picked up that Spider-Man variant. You know, I like Kevin Eastman's artwork, and I like seeing it on different characters other than the Ninja Turtles. So this is written by Ryan Parrott. Artist is Simon DeMio. So I'm going to show you some of the interior artwork on here. I think it's incredible. I am a fan of Power Rangers, but I'm just a bigger fan of Turtles, of course, right? So in this issue, we got the Turtles and the Power Rangers in the same universe. Oh, Comics for All People, what's up, man? How are you doing? Thank you for joining me. This is the last book of the day, and then I got one more thing to show you guys. I Collect a Lot says he did a cool Wolverine variant. You see? I like seeing him on different stuff. Wolverine cover this year, Eastman did. Look at that. ASM 129, I Collect a Lot. You guys are on the same wavelength. Yeah, dig it? So Turtles and Power Rangers are in the same universe, right? But Power Rangers are based in California, Turtles in New York. In this issue, the Green Ranger has gone to New York to join the Foot Clan and to help Karai and Shredder to do something. I don't know what it is, but while he's wherever he's at, he fights the Turtles, which that is him right there, and he turns into the Green Ranger while fighting the Turtles. And a really great part down here in the bottom, Michelangelo's like, no way, Steve the Ninja is a Power Ranger. So that tells me that the Ninja Turtles know of the Power Rangers, right? Because he's a flipping Power Ranger. Holy crap. Let's see, I Collect a Lot, Northeast Florida vibe. There you go. Comics Club, we were just 4 subs away from 500. Congratulations, Comics Club. If you guys were not subbed up to Comics Club, definitely anybody in the chat that creates content on YouTube, go sub them up, man. It's such a great feeling just to when you look at your numbers and it's up. It's up from the day before. It continues to go up, and it makes you feel good. It makes you think like the time that you're spending making these videos is not wasted. Like, people are watching your stuff, and that just it's a good feeling, guys. Definitely go check out Comics Club. There he is, Borinquen Comics in the house. Borinquen. Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles. So, flipping Green Ranger is fighting the Power Rangers, and the other Power Rangers end up showing up. So here is a great splash page of the Turtles on one side and the flipping Power Rangers on the other, about to duke it out. They don't know that Power Rangers don't know really anything about the Turtles. I think he calls them like a tortoise or something. These are mutant tortoises or so whatever they call them, man. But you get some great action, some awesome dialogue in here. Turtles look a little bit different than what I'm used to, but it's still good stuff. I'm going to show you what happens really at the end here. But you do get Karai and Shredder showing up. And that is probably one of, I'm going to move this mic. That's got to be one of the coolest Shredders I've seen in a long time. I really enjoy that. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to dive deep into Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles. I want to see what this story's about. A lot of times these 5 or 6 issue miniseries, they don't really go anywhere other than Batman. They made a movie, right? Batman Turtles, they made a movie out of that. But a lot of them are just contained within themselves. They don't splash into their own series. But that's cool, man. It's just a story that I want to read. Born in the 80s, so I'm a kid of the late 80s, the 90s. Growing up as a Turtle fan, you guys know that. And I watched a ton of Power Rangers growing up too, man. What was that, 1992, 93? So these are 2 series that I grew up loving and collecting the toys for. So to see them in a comic book meeting, that's awesome. I remember watching that really crappy TV show back in the 90s when the Turtles and the Power Rangers met up, and it was bad. It was bad. Bruce Morrow, what's up, man? How you doing, Bruce? Thank you for joining me. I've got one more thing to show you guys. So the reason that I called this episode and Strangeness or other, and I dropped the top to my thing. So, and the reason I called this and other Strangeness is because this week I was on the Facebook Marketplace, and I'm always looking for turtle stuff, right? Comics, toys, whatever it is. And a gentleman on there had this book right here. I'm gonna move the mic. So he had this book, and it's called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness. Now, have any of you guys ever seen this before? And if you're a Turtle fan, don't feel bad if you've never heard of this book, because I had never heard of it. This was made in 1985, like 6 months after the Turtles were created, and it is a Dungeons and Dragons style Ninja Turtle game. Look at the back artwork. So all the artwork in here is done by Eastman and Laird, right? The creators of the Turtles. And I'm going to show you some. They create all of these different characters. So there's some of the artwork in there. They create these different animals that you can make. There's a comic. There's a comic inside, and it is done, right here, done by Eastman and Laird. So I had no idea this is a thing. I collect a lot. It says that's how I discovered Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's awesome, man, that you knew about this. Because there they are. There's the Turtles right there. Very early appearance. And it looks to be a Batwoman. There she is. Look at that Batwoman. Looks like they're at a party. But they did all of the artwork for like the different creatures that you can create. There's that right there. But so here's the big thing about this one, because there are different editions. This is a first edition, right? It has the black lettering on it. If you look it online on eBay, you'll see some with the yellow lettering. Saw this at MegaCon Orlando a few years back. I think it's worth, if you're a Turtles fan, it's worth getting in your collection, right? I'm all about picking up Turtle memorabilia, Turtle stuff from the 80s, even from the 90s. And I didn't know anything about it, but I did some research after I bought it, because the guy told me, oh, that's the first edition. It's the black, it's the black lettering instead of the yellow. And I started looking, and it doesn't tell you if it's a first or second edition. It just says it was made in 1985. But when you go online and you look into it, one of the big reasons you know that this is a first edition is because inside, when you're creating your character, there's a portion in here where it talks about, let me see if I can find the page. It talks about different mental illnesses that your character can have. I'm going to show you that right there. So neurosis, active disorders, being a drunk, effects of alcoholism, phobias. And what happened, and there's also under that same thing, there is sexual deviations. And it talks about, let me see if I can get that. Will it focus? Homosexuality, pedophilia, necrophilia, voyeurism. So parents went crazy. Like, this was bought. It didn't go 3 years later. Parents started seeing what their kids were creating with this book and saying, oh, hell no. You have to take this back. So every edition after this one has that whole section taken out. All of the mental illnesses. Sexual. Is Perry in there? Yeah, let me see. Is Perry in here? I bet you he is. There he is. Perry. That's you right there, man. Oh, or is this the Possum? Possum Perry. Oh, Possum Perry with his gun. But I just thought that was funny that was in a children's book. Ninja Turtles, this is in a children's book back in the 80s so that they can play Dungeons and Dragons, like sexual deviations. Like, that's something that, why the hell would your character have it? And again, this goes to, I might have played Dungeons and Dragons one time in my life. Once, maybe in middle school, and it was played more as like a joke. Haha, this is fun. This is funny. But I didn't know that this is a part of Dungeons & Dragons. You create your character down to every little bit of the character, whether they're, homosexual or they're into voyeurism or pedophilia. You're selling a kid's book that talks about pedophilia, having sex with children. What the F? Who made this again? This is by Palladium. By Palladium Books. 80s. Bruce Morrow says 80s was a totally different time. It sure the hell was, man. But I was excited to get this. This is something that you don't see often. You don't see it everywhere. This is the only time I've ever seen it here in San Antonio. So I thought, hey, let me show this to people that watch the show. And I think I'm gonna make a video on it because not everybody watches this live stream. But I want to make one video talking and discussing this, and another is my best friends here in San Antonio. I sent them pictures of this. I was like, what the hell did you guys know about this? And my buddy Jeremy, who's a middle school teacher here, he was my best man at my wedding. I've known him since like 7th grade. He's like, dude, F it. Let's get drunk and play Turtles D&D over Christmas holiday. And I said, let's do it, man. So me and a few of my best friends here in San Antonio, we are going to sit down in the man cave and we are going to play some Ninja Turtles Dungeons and Dragons, man. It should be fun. I don't know how to play Dungeons and Dragons, so I got to read. But it talks about how this is the only book you need. Everything is self-contained in this book. Tells you kind of the rules on how do you play a role-playing game, how do you take score, creating your character. I mean, everything is contained. So I'm excited to do that. So anyways, guys, those were the 4 books that I reviewed today. Again, my pull list is going to be cut down considerably, but I'll still create more videos for you. I have more in mind as far as those 5 cheap spec books to keep. You got to Steam that game, like do a live stream of it. That would be fun. But I don't think a lot of people would sit there and watch us play Turtles D&D for an hour or two. But I have more comic books that I want to show you for cheap spec, like older 80s or 70s Batman and maybe other DC characters, cheap keys to pick up. My next video in the What the Heck is the Whitman variant. Yo, John's Comics Kids in the house. John in the house. The next What the Heck is variant video is going to be coming out here very, very soon. Whitman variants. The reason why I had to push it back so much, I couldn't find a Whitman variant to show off on the show. And I know you don't necessarily have to have a book to talk about the issues, but I want to show you that you can find them. And I was able to find one issue of a Whitman variant, so I want to show it off. You want to bet people watch Perry play video games? Yeah. People do watch Perry play video games. And I think later on today, me and Perry are going to play Call of Duty. He might actually stream that, so you'll hear the smooth voices of Edwin, the comic jabroni. Guys, so it's been fun. Have a great Friday. Thank you for joining me. As always, I'm Edwin, the comic jabroni. I will be on next week on Tuesday. Buy or pass. That'll probably be the next time I will be on somebody's video where you can actually see my beautiful face. So guys, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. And don't do anything I wouldn't do. Isn't that what Rod always says? Take it easy, guys. Peace.